All right, welcome into the JayMac podcast and another JayMac Snack. I wanted to take a minute and just kind of break down for you what the vaccine rollout will look like in this country. Now, we're going to see an example of it in the UK because they've approved the vaccine first, and they're actually going to start vaccinating people here within the next week. That actually gives us a little bit of an opportunity to watch because these vaccines have been tested on tens of thousands of people, but when you increase the sample size to millions, who knows what we're going to find. But I wanted to share with you the decisions that have made about who gets the vaccine first, how will it be rolled out, is this vaccine any different? It actually is. It's pretty cool. It's the first of its kind. And will there be any side effects? And how soon, again, do you think that you can get it? So I wanted to share all of this with you. First, the CDC had a big meeting to decide who gets the vaccine first. And who do you think? Who should get it? They chose what I would have chose, and that is the first responders. And who else is on the list?
Today on a CDC live stream, some of the nation's top doctors voting on which Americans should be first to get vaccinated. Frontline workers like doctors, nurses, and support staff caring for the infected are the top priority. Those living and working in nursing homes are also in phase 1A. Together, both groups account for roughly 24 million people, likely exceeding the number of potential doses available by the end of this month. The CDC has not yet voted on who should get the next round of doses. Perhaps those with underlying medical conditions, critical workers like those in the food supply system, and seniors. Many Americans will likely have to wait until spring.
So that's right. You're probably looking at wearing a mask until spring, at least. President-elect Biden has said he's going to ask Americans to wear a mask for the next 100 days. Notice the word ask, not mandate. I don't think he has the constitutional authority to mandate a mask, whereas your states do, depending on their constitution. Some interesting things about this vaccine. This is specific to the Pfizer vaccine. I think that's the one that we'll see available first. First of its kind. It uses something called mRNA, messenger RNA. The vaccines of the past would actually give you a dead sample of that virus, and then your body would create antibodies to fight it. Well, in this case, you're not going to be injected with dead COVID-19. You're actually going to be injected with something that will cause your RNA to create something. And that's really cool. And then that can fight it. First of its kind. And so I found this great report. One of the reasons I like this report is because it's from Ireland, and I love the accents. But you can find these reports all over the place. So let's go to the issue of how this vaccine works.
The technology used by Pfizer-BioNTech has never been approved for use in humans before, but people have received it in clinical trials. 43,500 people across 6 countries took part in trials for this vaccine. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is different to many conventional ones, which are produced using weakened forms of a virus. This vaccine is made using a new technology called messenger RNA, or mRNA. It takes a tiny fragment of genetic code for the spike of the virus, which is injected into the body. It enters cells and tells them to create antigens, which builds immunity to respond to the spike on the coronavirus. Analysis shows the vaccine can prevent 95% of people from getting COVID-19.
So that is from RTE News, and again, love the accents, but the information is all accurate. So the next question they ask is, are there still unknowns? And one of the biggest unknowns is how long will the vaccine work? When you've only had a vaccine around, or when you've only had a virus around for 10, 11 months, how can you really know how long the immunity is going to last? So what are the unknowns?
But experts say there are still some unknowns.
We don't know how long it will protect. And this really comes back to understanding what's the smallest immune response that you need to remain protective. And we just don't know that yet. We've only had this virus in existence for 10, 11 months.
So I guess I'm kind of leading and telling you what the story is going to say before I say it. But I get a little carried away. I get a little excited about this stuff. Are there advantages to the mRNA? That's the next question.
The advantage of an mRNA vaccine is that no actual virus is needed to create it. This means a faster production rate and it's cheaper than many traditional vaccines. A downside is that it needs to be stored at ultra-cold temperatures of around -70 degrees. Although once delivered, it can be kept for up to 5 days in a fridge.
So that is the Pfizer vaccine. Great information there. Who knows when the majority of the people are going to receive this? It's going to take some time. I know a lot of these vaccines have been purchased in advance by Operation Warp Speed, and that is a good thing. But no matter how much of the vaccine we have, it's going to take time to get it out there. And then there's the larger issue, and that is how many people who have been told this as a hoax or some type of conspiracy to inject them with a chip. So we had to, have you heard that one? Yeah, this is so they can inject a tracking chip in all of us. Like they don't have all of the other required vaccines for school. They couldn't do it with that one and inject you when you're young. They have to fabricate a worldwide pandemic and cause hundreds of thousands of people to just disappear off the map. And the death rate, the excess mortality rate, to go up by hundreds of thousands. Also, they can scare you into somehow getting this chip. That's one of the conspiracy theories that I've heard. Who knows how many people will actually get it? My hope is, knowing that it's the mRNA as opposed to actually being injected with a form of the COVID virus, maybe that will be encouraging to people. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if we're going to achieve any type of herd immunity, enough of us are going to have to get this thing. And for those of you who are hesitant, I just remind you that's the fastest way that we can get back to some sense of normalcy and return this economy to what it was. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it early on. And I trust the process. And maybe I'll be one of the first zombies. I don't know. But being a zombie doesn't seem so bad to me because, you don't really have the worries of the world. Zombies don't seem like a very worrisome people. They just kind of were running around looking for the next brains. It seems like they all get along and they don't have to pay bills and worry about all of those other issues. So, it doesn't seem that bad to me, So just a thought for you. Anyway, I hope that information helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them for you. Please take a minute and scan the QR code on the screen and become a patron of this podcast with a monthly donation or one-time donation. You can also click in the description of wherever you are watching or listening to this podcast. With that, we've got more JayMac News Snacks to come, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.